recording.
Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. Yeah. Yo, I want to thank my peers, and I want to thank Thanos for not snapping me out of existence. At least this for enough time for me to cement my sadness.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm
keeping that. I'm keeping that in.
Yeah. Okay. Next song, Fine Line. What do you think of this song, Tom?
I love this one. I love this because of how Dream Theater and how rushy that beginning bit is. That beginning bit to me is essentially Xanadu with all the nice waterfalls and sort of like alluding to a journey or something like that, a mystical journey. It was really nice.
It was a big allude to Steve Vai and Dream Theater, really.
Yeah.
And it was really, like, I really love Hell's Kitchen by Dream Theater. It was kind of like that vibe. And then I called it the Fine Line because at the end of For the Love of God, there's a line at the end and they say something like that. But yeah, I was so happy with the solo on this.
I really like the structure, the bass and the guitar essentially just soloing against each other in that beginning build section. It's really,
I
really
love
cool.
that 15/8 bit. It's probably my favourite solo because it goes from just really simple and then has the shreddy bit at the end. And none of it's really that complicated, but it's all about like the feel of it and it kind of emoting something instead of just being a pointless solo, you know. And I think I really got that with that one. And then it goes into pointless shredding.
It's tapping, isn't it? That bit.
Yeah,
the following section.
That's tough. That's tough.
I know. I mean, if it's tough for you, I can't even imagine how difficult that must be on something like a bass because it's playing the same thing, isn't it?
Bigger stretches.
Bigger stretches, thicker strings. Kudos for Joe for sticking with that riff.
Yeah. This one as well was. I was having lessons, obviously, because I was at uni. I was doing the harmony lessons with my guitar teacher. And he was teaching me voice leading. Essentially, that's how I wrote most of the harmony in this song, because it gets quite weird. You really listen to the kind of intricacies of the harmony, and I had loads of fun doing that because it was just start with a chord and then let's move to the next one and move a note and then let's just see where it ends up. And there's so many chord progressions where it reminds me of like there's definitely a Zelda one in there and stuff like that. Like 23/16 section, which is the time signature of the kind of the build. I got that idea from Zelda. That was the Ganondorf theme in Ocarina of Time is in 23/16. I like the way the drums work in this one though as well in that 23/16 because it's almost like a wonky 4/4.
Yeah,
it's like slowing up and speeding down.
Actually worked out really kind of cool. I like that section because it's not it's not drawing attention away from anything. It's just sort of
like it's complicated as well, but it's not difficult. Yeah, if that makes sense. Theory wise, there's a lot going on, but playing it's not really that hard.
Yeah.
So you can impress your friends by saying, like, I can play this it's complicated riff.
I think one of my favourite sections, still probably one of my favourite sections that you've written is the one after that, just the straight 4/4 section.
I was just gonna say, the discordant bit or the
before after the
right, that bit before the 23/16.
Yeah.
So that's the one section of this song where I'm not sure about it.
Really?
I'm not 100%.
I love that bit. Well, because of all the orchestration you've put in it, it just sounds so cool. I think that's one of the first instances you've used French horns for their full ability, or a French horn plugin.
Yeah. Well,
there's so much huge brass in that bit, and I love it. It sounds so cool.
I always go off on that bit because the guitar part stays the same, the lead for the second part, and there's a part of me was like, was I just being lazy there, just copying it? I think it works.
No, I think it works. I don't see listening to it. I don't see what else you would have done, really.
Yeah.
I think if you'd have done something else, it wouldn't have worked as well. It works well for that one section to just repeat it.
My favourite bit's the discordant bit. The dun 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 dun, and then it switches.
I completely forgot about that, but yeah. I completely forgot about that section.
I like this whole song, and then the chuggy And then when you go into kind of the half time almost, accenting the
yeah. It's a great one as well because it just never stops building. It's just one whole build. It's just a build of a song from beginning to end, isn't it? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Like usually the turnaround of songs are really quick for us. Like, I'll write one and then we're like, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's roll with that. But this one, it was a good while I was writing this, like maybe a year. I was like, I gotta make it right. And even when I finished it, I was like, there's still bits I want to change. Oh, sorry. Okay, that one. Yeah, but even after I finished, like, I think this one was it was never going to be 100% how I want it. But I think that's fine. It's kind of how it ends up being. This song definitely took my composition to the next kind of stage it needed to go. Helped me kind of learn a lot of stuff and get better at that. Yeah. If I didn't write this, I don't think I would have been able to write Fear of Being Forgotten while I was ever wrote that.
I remember in the advertising stage for this, when we had that snowfall, that I had the great and wonderful idea of taking my drum kit in the middle of the playfield over there, covered in snow. It would have made a good shot if we'd actually used it more. It was for what
it looked pretty good though.
It did end up looking pretty good, but it was the fact that we only ever actually used like one small clip of it, and I recorded the whole thing.
You still got all the clips?
Oh, I'll have them somewhere. Put them on the YouTube.
Yeah, maybe.
Drum playthrough.
2 years later.
Yeah, could be a good.
That came out a year before the album actually came out. We weren't sure how that album was going to get put together. It was kind of, we were just making songs at this point, and then it happily ended up working and fitting together.
Yeah.
And should we say this for this one, or consume all, where stream the song?
Let's get it to 10,000 streams. Let's go.
Well, that's about it. See you.